What we're doing here while they're having a little rest in there is cooking Sunday lunch. I've done some carrots, but what I'm going to do here is with this cabbage water, is strain a little bit into there, to that dish there, for me stock, for me gravy, because it's only me who has gravy. But if not, I could also use it for soup if I wanted to, make a bit of soup up. But today it'll be used for a little stock for me gravy. So we'll do that. There's the stock from the cabbage for the gravy, which I'll use for me. And I'm just going to put a little bit of butter and seasoning into this in a minute. That's the cabbage draining. I'm going to put it into that pan and then add a little bit of butter, pepper and seasoning. A little bit of butter to the cabbage to finish off now that it's drained nicely. A little bit of pepper. And a tiny little bit of salt. It's optional. You don't have to put. It's to your taste sort of thing. And then just let it cook for a little bit. Sprouts are going nicely on the back. There you go. Carrots, and I've just done them plain today. Usually you can put a bit of parsley butter on them or whatever suits you. And they're still in there happily watching. There you go. Take the sprouts off now. They've been cooking for about 8 to 10 minutes, so they should be nice and crispy. And drain them into that colander there. There you go. You can just like warm them up or toss them in a little bit of butter and a few herbs if you want. But I'm just going to leave them plain. We're going to eat those plain, so we're fine with that. There we go. And there's the Yorkshire pudding mix. I've just used a little. I put a bit of water, a bit of plain flour. I just guess a little bit of plain flour, seasoning. I had a bit of skim milk and some really cold water, and give them a good whisk. And there you go. 3 eggs in there. That should do about a dozen, but I just guessed, so we'll see how we get on. Right, we'll get the Yorkshire pudding moulds out the oven. They look nice blue A's, so they're ready to put the mix in. Bit of luck, this should do, because it's all guesswork. There you go, look. Just make it enough, so you're not wasting anything. Well, all good fun. Look at that. Just enough. There you go, look. So I've made just enough. And that's guessing for a dozen. There you go. And they're still happily on the chair. Right, put them back in the oven. There we go. The oven's around about 200, just quite hot. There you go. I'll add this kale to this boiling pan of water. There you go. Usually 6 minutes, 6 to 8 minutes, it's fine. Waste nothing. There you go. So that takes 6 to 8 minutes. You can steam it if you want, but I've chose to boil. And sometimes I'll add a little bit of nutmeg to it at the end, a little bit of butter and nutmeg, not too much, just add a little bit of flavour. But there you go. And they're still laid out properly on the chair lock. There you go. There's some parsnips I did in the oven. I roasted a few sweet potatoes and some normal potatoes, small roast potatoes. So all this is then prep for later. So you can just warm it up later on and you're not so busy. And I haven't got a roast today, so it's just chops. It's either lamb chops or pork chops today. There you go. Kale, I'm just finishing the kale off again, I've drained it really well, and I've just added a little bit of butter, and I've just put in some touch of nutmeg, not too much, and then just move that around. Let it all flavours get in there. There you go. That's a little bit of kale, so I boiled that for around about 6 minutes, and then I've just let it drain really well, added a bit of butter, a tiny bit of seasoning and a bit of nutmeg. There you go. So there we are, we've just finished preparing Sunday lunch, or cooking it should I say. There's the chop. I've seasoned the chop for later, and I'm just letting it stand a little bit. I put salt and use the pepper mill and let the seasoning sort of soak in there and get the flavours in. There's the roast potatoes and roast parsnips and roast sweet potatoes, but you can put the sweet potatoes in with the carrots and boil them up, mash them, whatever suits you. Carrots just plainly boiled with a little bit of seasoning. The kale, I boiled that for about 6 minutes, and then I let it really drain and added a bit of seasoning and nutmeg to that. And the sprouts, I just tossed them in a little bit of butter. Same with the cabbage, and again a little bit of seasoning. Now the stuffing here, that's just normal sage and onion stuffing, but I've added a little bit of, we had some spinach left over, so I chopped that up raw as it was, washed it and drained it, and then I added that to the stuffing mix for a little bit more flavour. And there's some Yorkshire puddings. I did a dozen. I just guessed the mix. I used 3 eggs, plain flour seasoning, skim milk, and water, really cold water. Now the gravy, I did save a little bit of water from the cabbage, but it wasn't over seasoned, to be fair. So, and it's just a little, just gives it a little bit of flavour because I haven't got any stock, and it saves wasting it really, because you can actually keep the water from your vegetables and make a soup if you haven't over seasoned it. And then with this chop later, I'll lightly grill it, and when it's finished, I'll deglaze the pan and I'll get the flavours into my gravy. And there you go. And this now is all ready for a few days. It can be put away and used for a few days. And you're saving then oven, your energy, everything really, your electricity and everything. So you've prepared well ahead for a few days. Good girls. And also dog training comes into it as well. You've got to bring your dogs as part of your family. Good girls, come on then. There you are. There you go. Bella getting a bit of carrot. Tia getting a bit of carrot. So you've got to make your dogs also part of the family. There you go. One for the tea. So there we are. A little bit of preparation for a few days. All done. Thank you for watching. There's the finished product. I've just put my chop in there to finish off in the gravy. Remember, I used cabbage water, but I didn't use too much because it can be too strong. So I just used a little bit into my gravy. It's just so's I didn't waste it, and there's only me who has gravy. But you can use carrot water, which isn't as strong, or something else, or just put it in a bowl for soup. There you go. And there's the finishing product, and enough there for tomorrow as well. There you go. And you can also freeze your Yorkshire puddings as well. So I put 3 in that freezer bag, look, and 3 in that one, and put them away for another week. There you go.